Next up is G.H. Merritt. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and committee members, for inviting us to be here. My name is G.H. Merritt. I'm the chairman of the board of New Illinois. Today, I'm speaking on behalf of residents of many Illinois counties who would like to separate from Illinois and form a new state. Our state movement is large. We have two groups working toward this goal. Illinois' separation referendum, directed by Lorette Newland, is responsible for the 33 Illinois counties voting to separate. New Illinois, on the other hand, operates through committees, mostly in different counties. The bottom line, an active state split movement exists in 68 Illinois counties. And I must add, some of our committees are in the collar counties, which are the wealthiest counties in the state. Our biggest grievance is that we are not represented. We don't have government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our governor accuses us of wanting to kick Chicago out of Illinois. Not so. We want to kick ourselves out of Illinois. We very much appreciate that you see us, that you hear us, that you empathize with our experience. We wish our own state government would do the same. Instead, Governor Pritzker calls our efforts a stunt. If he really cared about the people outside of Chicago, he would listen and understand our grievances. We agree with you, Mr. Speaker. Illinois outside of Cook County has much more in common with Indiana. Like you, we believe in fiscal discipline and limited taxes. We admire how you've managed your finances and have a $2 billion surplus, while we drown in $200 billion of pension debt. Your Constitution limits property taxes. In contrast, Illinois has the second highest property taxes in the country. Our goal is the constitutional formation of a new state separate from the state of Illinois under Article 4, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution. The Guarantee Clause of the U.S. Constitution requires states to provide a Republican form of government. That means government of the people, meaningful representative government. The colonial battle cry, no taxation without representation, is our reality. We have lost representation because Cook County politicians like Mike Madigan and his successor, Speaker Chris Welch, gerrymandered it away. Both Common Cause and the Princeton Gerrymandering Project have given Illinois a grade of F. A University of Illinois at Chicago report finds that Illinois is the nation's third most corrupt state and Chicago is the most corrupt city. Lack of representative government has brought this corruption and is destroying our state. We are being put at risk by the irresponsibility and incompetence of Illinois' and Chicago's leaders. That's our reason for our goal of forming a new state. Nevertheless, we thank the leadership of Indiana for recognizing our pain.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much. Next up is, I want to pronounce this right, Daniel
Juffernbruch.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Daniel Juffernbruch. I'm here to support the New Illinois. I've lived in Illinois my whole life except for 9 years when I lived in Washington, D.C. and went to law school and worked with the patent office. And that's where I met my wife, Dale, here. And we want to make a better state for our grandchildren that we hope to have. And I'm going to discuss three ways to fix it that are consistent with the policy objectives of HB 1008 and how we got here. So in Illinois, the people of Illinois are basically disenfranchised. We have a constitutional guarantee of a Republican form of government that's been broken. And we're not a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. We're a government by the people, of the people, and by the people, and for the people of Chicago. and the people in the rest of the state have no voice left. And one of the ways this happened was and this would be a third way to correct the problem, is there was, in 1964, the U.S. Supreme Court decided that state senates cannot be apportioned anymore by population. I meant geographically. The Supreme Court said state senates must be apportioned by population, not geographically. And what that did was that took a voice away from the rural areas. Because the great compromise of the U.S. Constitution was to have a Senate that has representatives from each state, so that big states like New York didn't dominate the country. And what's happening in Illinois is a giant city, Chicago, is dominating the state government. And so the people in the rest of the state have that problem. And so the problem has gotten worse, and what Senator Dirksen of Illinois predicted happening has come true. And he, until his death, he made it his life's work to try to undo the Supreme Court case Reynolds versus Sims, because that case is what's caused this imbalance where people have become disenfranchised and have no voice in the Illinois legislature. But we're going to reach an economic tipping point in Illinois, and the people are going to lose their patience, and I shudder to think what's going to happen. So I welcome some way of doing a reorganization to address this problem. It needs to happen one way or another. So what Indiana's proposing, taking on 33 states, is a good way to solve that problem. But we advocate creating a new 51st state, which is allowed under Article 4, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution. It requires a majority vote of the U.S. Congress and a majority vote of the Illinois General Assembly. So we will need support from Indiana and other states for that to be successful. And it can be and will be. Maine was created out of Massachusetts in 1820 using this provision. So there is valid ways of creating a new state. So that would be a different way of addressing the problem. So thank you for all your help in listening on how to do a reorg to address our problems.
Any questions, Representative Campbell?
Thank you, Chair. So you don't necessarily want to join Indiana. You want to create a new state.
That's our
And
objective.
that's
I think that's it. I think that's the best way to do it. You could solve the problem a different way.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? We appreciate your testimony. Thank you.